Hello, crafty friends. This is Angie, the Wednesday demo person, and I am here to show you some stencils and how you can use them several different ways. We're going to start with some ink blending first, and I'm just using distress inks for that. I'm going to start with two colors. Just going to grab some ink, add it to my cardstock. These are just a few, I'm just going to show a few quick and easy ways to use stencils to add some texture, visual interest, make a nice background. So with this first one, we're just laying down some color. I'm going to take my second color. You can see I'm using Seedless Preserves and Salty Ocean for the two colors today. These techniques work with just about any medium. So this first one, we're going to do some texture, and we're just going to do a real quick fun technique that is just spritzing a little water onto our stencil. So here's our ink blended panel. I'm going to take this stencil right here, and I'm just going to spray water. And then I'm going to put it on top of the ink blended panel. Take a paper towel, just place it on here. And we're going to let it sit for just a minute. And when it's finished, it's going to look like this, where you can see that subtle background that is caused by just adding water. Now, of course, this has to be with an ink that is water reactive, which the distress inks are. So take that. Now I'm going to lift this up and show you. And here, it's kind of like a faux bleaching technique. And the longer this sits, the deeper that impression is going to get. So we'll set this aside. And then I'm going to show you these two techniques here. So we're going to take our stencil, and I'm just going to wipe it off really quick. I'm going to take a new piece of cardstock and place my stencil over this panel here. And just depends on how you want your pattern to be. It really doesn't matter how you line it up. And then I'm going to take some ink, and I'm going to start blending through the stencil. Just going to blend through here to lay down some color. Then I'm going to take my next color, let me line that back up, and add it. Then I'm going to go right back over the edge here just to blend those two colors together. And now we have this stenciled design. And you can see that I still have ink on the stencil. So on this cardstock, I just stamped it down here, but I'm going to do a fresh piece so you can see. We're going to take the stencil again and get it wet. Then we are going to turn this over and basically just stamp it onto the cardstock. Again, I'm just using a paper towel in case there's any excess water that wants to come out. We can leave this here for just a moment so that the ink sets in. And then we're going to remove this stencil. And now you have that pattern that's left behind. You could do this again. You see there's still some ink on here, so we can press this down again. Right here. And then it's an even lighter pattern. So depending on how much ink you have left on the stencil is going to determine the pattern that's left behind. Okay, so let me clean this up really quick. I'm just going to use paper towel to wipe this off, and I'll go rinse it off in a little while. And then the last thing I want to show you is you can add some more texture and interest to a stamped image, like this one right here that I've previously watercolored, I'm going to take this BRD leaf stencil. It's available in the shop. And I'm just going to take this, figure out where I want to place it. And I'm going to use, this time I'm going to use a green color. And I'm just going to lightly add some color through the stencil here in the corner. Just give it a little bit of texture to the background. You can see that very light. Then I'm going to take this other part of this leaf. And you don't even have to ink blend through the entire pattern. You can just do parts of the pattern. So I'm going to take a little bit darker green here. And I'm going to show you here. We're going to just add a little bit more color. I'm not going to do all of it. And you can see now how it adds just a little bit more texture to your design. And you can be very creative with where you put it. So I'm going to put it in between these little critters here. Just a little bit more. And now I have just a little bit of a background. And since I have some color left over here, again, I'll put the lid on here and move this out of the way. I can spray this. And then I can turn this over and I can add this to here. Lift this up and you can see it left some of the leaf pattern there. This one has a little bit more water on it, so it's a little bit more watery, but the pattern is still there. I'll flip this one over, add water again so we can see. Use my paper towel to press down, get any excess water from seeping through the holes there, and then lift. And you have a very faint leafy pattern in there. So, again, we have the directly ink blending through the stencil, getting the stencil wet with the leftover ink and stamping it, a faux bleaching technique where we ink blend the background and then just wet the stencil and put it on top. And then here where we're just adding a little bit of texture and some visual interest to the background of our project. So I will be in the shop on Wednesdays. If you have any questions or if there's any other techniques that you would like to see, please let us know. I thank you for watching today and have a great day.